evening, everybody. DadmanWalking55 coming to you from the East Coast time zone, 3 minutes after 8. But yes, the Florida Gators have won today. They actually look good. They actually scored points. They actually had an offense that threw the ball down the field. Now, unfortunately, it made LSU had twice as many plays, but they still magically won. Still, have I changed my opinion? No, I'm still grumpy old man here. But hey, I digress. There's lots of action tonight. Not so many great games today, but there are some very interesting games out there and the way they ended. But let's go ahead and bring in my co-host tonight here. It's you love him, the great JT Kirk. Hell, Kirk, how are you?
Hey, good evening. I am doing well. I'm doing anyway.
Oh,
We'll say that much. Cleaning out some gutters, doing that kind of stuff today. So knocking things off the checklist. So, and I guess a little bit of news. We didn't even talk about this backstage. If things play out well tomorrow, I will be getting my book signed and maybe a picture with the Critical Drinker.
Oh, wow.
Who is
Congratulations.
stateside right now at a con. So I'm hoping to get out there.
All
Anyway.
right. Well, that'll be cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. I guess it's not a weird time of year for conferences, but how's the weather out there? Is it getting cold and snowy yet?
No snow. We're still about 15-ish degrees too warm for that cutoff, but it definitely freezes at night. You wake up, you get frost on the car. So all the leaves are pretty much off the trees in the neighborhood too. So it's fall, getting ready for winter. So I tell you what, though, when we set times back, it really, it gets dark so dang early. You're driving home at night and it's dark. It's straight up just nighttime.
Yeah, because it's usually about 5 o'clock. It starts getting dark here, but y'all are at the higher latitude. Y'all get dark a lot earlier than we do.
Oh yes, yeah. It's probably completely dark by 4:15, something like that.
Jeez.
Yep.
I thought it was bad enough when I went to Cincinnati one time, and it was 10 o'clock, and it was still daylight outside. And like the anchors were talking about it. I'm like, one, you guys live here, and two, how the heck do you put your kids to sleep at night?
Yeah, I know. Well, yeah. In July, that can be a bit of a challenge.
Yeah.
But
yeah, we were there in August, actually. That's what was so funny. So.
Yeah. Well, but the other side of the coin is they can actually go outside and run around a lot more and burn some energy out. But, oh, yeah, I remember as a kid not getting to sleep. It's like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and you still get a little bit of sun. And the ladybugs and not the ladybugs, the lightning bugs and the crickets and stuff would be going full tilt, cicadas full tilt. And it's like, I can't sleep. So, I got a little reading light. And I remember being up in elementary school reading Star Trek novels, probably a little bit, some topics in there a little bit above my age group, but I didn't know what they were talking about. So
Buddy says sunset is 4:56 where he is. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, a quick score update already on the second possession of the game. Georgia had an opening kickoff, 3-and-out. Tennessee went down, scores. Tennessee is up 7-0 on the Georgia Bulldogs in Athens. If you hear my phone ding, it will be my kid, more than likely, because they are up there at the game. Of course, they said that they oversold the student section tickets, so I think they're just gypsying around the stadium. It's like, oh gosh,
Is that Ang or the another one?
My oldest kid that's a student up there. Yeah,
gotcha.
Exactly. That's
folks know Ang, but
yes,
not
the oldest kid that we don't talk about too much. But I tell you, I'm from a family of cats, and that's like she's like the missus. They like to be, not even seen and not heard. So. It's always good. Let's say hello.
Speaking of being heard, go ahead.
Yes. What's up?
I had a great time hearing Jacksonville stuff. What was that back on Monday?
Yeah.
With
MC Wally.
MC Wally. Yeah.
Yep.
He was a great guest to have on that show. Holy crap.
Absolutely. He knows his stuff. And like I said, he's he's a great game day host. They have him doing the events at a lot of games. And he just great personality. I hope maybe we'll be able to have him on again. And actually, we're working on something, a similar type of show for down the road. Folks, and hopefully it works out, but we'll have to confirm that later to when we have the date of it. So
For sure.
we got 4 people watching us. Make sure you follow us on the YouTube side. Hit the like, subscribe, share out the stream here on YouTube. All right, Georgia has a 3rd and 10, and we will start by going down the chat. Oh, Georgia just dropped the ball. Okay. Well, hey, Buddy Hepburn's here. Yes, Stanford beats Louisville. Heck yeah, we'll take a look at that game in a bit. And I just saw that Stanford has 2 ACC wins. Yes, Stanford is in the ACC, even though in the Pacific Coast, opposite of Atlantic. Both of their wins have been walk-off field goals this year in the conference. So good to see you, buddy.
Themselves to the American Coast Conference.
Just something.
Well, then they'd pick up a Canadian team or something, and then it would just get all kinds of, yeah.
Or they pick up SMU. You know, why not? Bring Texas into it. Texas in the middle of everything. So, and hello, who amongst another critters, the great polar bear himself, Snortopoopas Cuber. Hello, sir. How are you tonight? How are you tonight? And hell to JT Kirk is here. And hell to you, Connie Cleary. Your great Penn State marches on today. We will take a quick look at that. The dominant performance over Purdue. Toot, toot. No, that's the Wiggles. No, it's what? Boiler up, choo choo. Boiler up, choo choo. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. Basically, yeah. Yeah.
Or boiler up, toot toot, or whatever.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, it was funny. I have to bring this up. Last night, I was trying to listen to you and the missus, and I was like deliriously tired. And you said something about polar bears.
Yeah.
And I wrote something and I put it in the chat and I sent it, but like my eyes weren't like, I was doing one of those doze off things. And I said like the weirdest message about Snortopoopas. And then like I fell asleep. I think you read it like, this makes no sense. That was like the last.
Dude, I still don't even remember what it was about, but yeah, Snortopoopas got thrown in there somewhere. And hey, Corey, good to see you tonight. So, all right.
You never know what you're going to get on a Friday stream, though.
I know.
Hey, Corey.
Yep. Well, we got 8 likes already. Wow. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for coming through. We're going to have some fun. We'll got JT for a little over an hour.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll have fun. We'll start getting into the games. I'm a little out of my normal flow tonight. I am at the secret location tonight. This will be the last football stream here. My last mom's house is scheduled to be sold Friday, so this will be. I was here today to enjoy one more day of college football in the old house. So I'm working with the side phone.
The old house, or if you were in like a Doomcock satellite outpost, because you said it was from a secret location. So.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Nope, it's the old homestead. Just the Rebel base somewhere. I would go Rebel base. I would do something like that. I'd try to be unique and different. You know, we try to blaze our own trails here. But yeah, all right. Good to see everybody here tonight. So, got that open. All right. Well, I will tell you. Currently, Tennessee's going to get the ball back. It is now 7-0 early in this game, folks. I tell you what, be careful. You know, one thing that I don't like, JT, is watching with these games. I do not like all this strobe light flashing in these stadiums I've gone to.
Yeah,
I mean, especially in the dark. I had to tell I would joke with you about epilepsy warning. I mean, even on television.
Yeah, folks, and we were remarking because I complained to no end that I get like no Big Ten games being in the heart of Big Ten country, but I have my 3rd in a row SEC game. So of course Tennessee Georgia was on just before the show, and the wife and I were sitting there watching the Georgia pregame, and like the screen just starts flashing, and I've got one of those HDR million LED whatever backlight things, so it can get really bright. And I'm just sitting there with my wife, and I'm like, oh man, like seizure warning much, epilepsy warning much. And then I look down at my phone with, blue vision from getting my eyes burnt out. And Dadman's like, epilepsy warning in a text message to me. Oh man, we were both on the same page there. I mean, they start with the marching band.
Yep.
They do a nice job there. Then they got like this whole smoke entrance, and it's just like, come on, Michael Jackson is not coming out of that locker room. Just tone it down.
But Buddy Hepburn said, I'm doing the risky business dance one last time at home. Yes, sir, I am. Nobody around. And B from O, hello. How are you tonight? Good to see you. Good to see you. Looks like Tennessee picks up another first down. Now there's a flag. Looks like probably a holding coming back on the play. Well, let's take a look at the scores so far today. Let me go. This is, it's like I got to take my glasses off. I need new glasses, but I got to take them off one time to read and then just, anyway. Well, starting in the Big 10, you guys, I've hated it with the Big 10 forever. You had like 12 or 14 teams, and then now you got 20, and it's like, it's just like the Big 12. But hey, number 2, Ohio State crushes Northwestern. Northwestern led this game 7-0. Ohio State runs off 31 points, win 31-0. And a game that was tighter than the score indicated, but Arkansas really had no offense today. Number 3 ranked Texas goes on the road to Fayetteville, beats the Pigs 20-10. The great Penn State Nittany Lions, number 4 in the nation, go on the road to Purdue. Boiler up, clunk, clunk. Boiler up, clunk. Blew an engine. 49-10 Penn State. Yeah, JT.
I was just going to say, Purdue's really blown their boiler here. 1-9 on the year, 0-7 in the Big 10. Ouch.
Well, we'll expand on that in a few minutes, too. Got another of your favorites, Notre Dame, easy win at home, 35-14. You're going to really love the playoffs with Notre Dame and Alabama make it, aren't you?
But people are going to say that's a quality win, Dadman. That was a quality win. They deserve a first round.
They're part of the ACC.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put them in the SEC championship game no matter what. Wow. And okay, Tennessee looks like they're going to pick up the first down there. We got speaking of Alabama, number 10 Alabama paycheck game 52-7 over Mercer.
Yeah, Mercer Central High School, is it?
Mm-hmm. The Bears, they're in Macon, Georgia, just south of Atlanta. SMU has struggles a bit with Boston College, but does pull away. SMU wins 14th ranked SMU 38-28. Significant in this game is Thomas Castellanos, the quarterback from Boston College, has indicated he is transferring, entering the transfer portal earlier in the week for Boston College. So, and he was instrumental in some of their wins early in the year, including the win at FSU. Coach Prime is moving forward with the Colorado Buffaloes. Number 17 ranked Colorado moves up, beats Utah 49-24. And probably from the way I've read it, and unfortunately I missed this game, but Buddy Hepburn can tell us all about it. In a dramatic game, 19th ranked Louisville goes on the road to Stanford, loses this game by a field goal at the end. This is one of the. We'll take a look at more
ACC teams that aren't even in the Atlantic anything.
Yeah. We'll take a look into that a little bit more as time goes on. But I believe Louisville had a lead. Stanford comes back in this game. But either way, nice win at the end for Stanford in an Atlantic Coast Conference game. Speaking of the Atlantic Coast, a game that had severe, had critical ramifications in the ACC championship picture. Clemson, 20th ranked, goes up to Pitt and escapes with a 24-20 win, including a last-minute 50-yard run by Caleb Kludnik, the quarterback. Clemson holds off Pittsburgh for last-second interception for the win in that game. In a game that really – okay, we'll talk more about this one in a second because I got comments on this one. Number 23, Missouri at South Carolina. South Carolina escapes with a 34-30 win in this game. Somebody tell Shane Beamer to not be like the Louisiana Gambler. You keep going for fourth down and a yard in your own territory early in the game. It's a good way to let your opponents back in. Of course, 22nd ranked LSU goes on the road to Gainesville, and they run into the buzzsaw that's the Florida Gators offense. Although we'll take a look at that game too, because LSU ran quite a lot of more plays than Florida, but Florida was efficient today and still make some of the mistakes. But good win for the Gators, move up to 500. Tulane, 25th, goes on and crushes Navy 35-0. So Navy's dream season is now crashed and burned into the planet really hard.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, Army is first overall in the American Conference, and Tulane is second. So that puts Navy firmly in third by losing to the second place team.
Right.
So, yeah.
Then, of course, in December we'll have the annual ending of the season with Army Navy.
Mm-hmm.
So for our Auburn fans, you guys won today. Yay, 48-14 over Louisiana Monroe. Easy win for Auburn in this game. Looking down the rest of the list, Illinois goes on the road, beats Michigan State. Sorry, JT, 38-16.
I said, yeah. I didn't even bother. Yeah. Didn't even bother.
Yeah, but what's so weird is you were telling me that up where you're located, Fox isn't even showing the Big 12 games, the Big 10 games in your area.
No, you have to have
showing the Big 12.
Detroit. You have to have Fox Sports Detroit or FS1.
How? Because I got it on my regular over there, Fox down here. Don't tell me they're like the only network still doing regional matchups.
We had the Colorado game.
Wow.
We did. I that's what we had. Yeah. And Michigan's on a bye week, so I mean, you had a drought anyway on what to show, but they threw Ohio State on the Big Ten network, and we got Colorado.
I don't get that. Because on Twitter, I'm part of this Fox Sports update thing, and they pitched the Big Ten. I thought it was a national contract
package. No, well, you have to have the cable package to get it on Fox Sports, not on.
Yeah, but what loses me is that they don't. I'm watching it on the regular over there Fox network.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. That's what
I know. I know.
I mean, you don't see ABC doing that. Bother. You don't see ABC doing that like with the Big 12 or the ACC. Like, well, you guys in the Southeast, you're going to get the ACC this week. That's what we used to have to deal with. Oh, crazy.
Yeah, Devin, that's why I said I didn't even bother, because what's the point? What's the point? Why would I pay to see a team that's not even going to make a bowl game?
Even go out to eat to watch it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they lose to Illinois 38-16. Syracuse, another ACC game involving a West Coast team. Syracuse beats Cal 33-25. Air Force Academy shuts out the Beavers 28-0. Golly. Well, I tell you what, unlike Washington State, who has actually had a decent season and is in the top 25, Oregon State, not only with DJ transferring to FSU, Jonathan Smith going to Michigan State, it's like they've lost all their talent. It's like they truly are a below average small conference team now. I mean, they are nothing of a Pac-12 or a major conference talent-wise or coaching-wise on their team. Who knows what's going to happen with the Beavers going forward. USC is home to Nebraska and wins 28-20. And a matchup, that I was thinking about that today. Nebraska, USC, those are two teams that at one point in the past would be traditional. You'd love to have them on your schedule, but they're really just both also-rans right now. Nothing sexy about having them on their schedule as you would have in the 80s. Baylor goes on the road to West Virginia and beats West Virginia 49-35. So that completes the games that have been finished. Currently, we've got some games. JT, if you want to pull up, I guess I can do it. Here we go. Pull up this here. So, do we have the top 25 games here, or this all
sure.
games?
I can toggle it. I just wanted to also point out.
Yeah. Hey, if you can stop the playing clip. If you can over to the right side, there's a clip that plays. That's the one thing you have to watch with ESPN. They usually
Yep.
run clips and stuff. So let me know when you
I
have
already
it.
pressed pause. Yep, there we go. Pressed it a third time.
Okay. All right. All right. There we go. Third time. And if you move this to the top 25, you can go up a little bit more. See that? Yeah. Click that down and you can do top 25.
You saw me press pause once, and it.
I know you did.
Did
There
it
we
again.
go.
Okay.
Oh, yes. You got to do it 400 times. So, but hey, we're working. Thank you, JT, for your help tonight.
Sure.
Oh, my gosh.
Sure.
Buddy had the Colorado game too, but he watched Harvard at Penn instead.
Yeah. See, people don't want to watch Colorado playing, and they
Wait.
always get on TV.
So, Buddy, I guess, Buddy, you also had the Colorado game on the Fox network and not the, because see, all I knew this week was Ohio State and Purdue. I don't
See, and that was on the Big Ten network for me. So it probably was for Buddy too if he's out on Pac-12. Well, former Pac
I don't
country.
know. Anyway, oh well, who knows? Maybe I got it wrong. I don't know. But hey, at noon I was watching the Arkansas Texas game. Corey, good to see you tonight, though. Hey, good. Yeah, you go get something good to eat. I got pizza here and a lemon bun cake, and I got ice cream in the fridge, so I'm blowing out today. Hey, good to see you there, Corey. And yeah, it was an Astro Game Fox. I know. That's when I hear stuff like this, I start to wonder if I went crazy or if I misread something. Because it's like, I just don't get it. Well, let's look in the top 25 action. We got San Jose State ahead of Boise State right now. Wow, that could be something to keep an eye on there. The Spartans, if they could knock off Boise State, could really ruin Boise State's season with that.
Well, I really want Boise State to win because any more of these teams that win makes a case against Alabama.
Yeah, because Boise State would be the highest ranked conference champion that would technically get in. Yeah. Although what I heard tonight, the team that would get excluded would be Georgia. That Georgia would be the one if Boise State
won or if they didn't win.
Well, assuming Georgia wins out, like if it ended today, if Boise State won, if the first team out would be Georgia, not Alabama, of course.
Okay.
JT, the whole universe is aligning towards you having to put up with Alabama and Georgia.
Yeah. Sounds like
or Alabama, yeah, especially Alabama. That's why last week, folks, we decided we're picking Tennessee to go forward. Yes. So, and Georgia's being forced to punt deep from their own end zone. Nice kick out of the end zone, though, but Georgia.
It looks like first and goal for Boise State with less than a minute before going into half here. So
okay, well that's cool.
We'll go back up after we're done and see how.
Yes, we will. Sorry, I got G. This is the first time I got the Georgia game where I can see it with a laptop here. So it's better than when I'm at home when I have to turn around and all. But look at that score. Arizona State is up big, 21-0. Talk about a rebuild. And just this Napier crap, look at Arizona State. It wasn't 2 years ago they were at the bottom of the league. They had massive issues. It may have even been last year. And look at it, 7-2. Up on the road on 16-ranked Kansas State on the road, 21-0. Don't tell me it takes 3 years and all this culture crap. Right? That's what I love with Deion Sanders.
On the road, that's impressive for anybody.
Yeah, that is very impressive for this Arizona State team, though. They really were in the bargain basement of in the Pac-12. They were really struggling there. Herm Winningham was the coach and really went down really, really quickly. But hey, on the road, and hello to Outlaw Bill. How are you tonight? Good to see you, sir. Good to see you. Of course, top-ranked Oregon is on the road at Wisconsin. Oh, that game's on NBC. What? That should have been a Fox game. But all right, well, we can keep track of that on the big old NBC. Oh, it's in the second quarter already. So hey, there's your typical Wisconsin game. No offense, no scoring. So. Maybe Bill and Napier will go there one day, but just kidding. So, of course, we see Georgia, Tennessee on the road, nearing the end of the first quarter. A really fast-moving game tonight there. And by the way, that place is packed. They oversold the student section. It is insane in Tennessee. I just remembered, I think my sister got remarried in 2016. You know how I know it?
How's
Because
that?
they were showing the replay from the 2016 game where it was like 2 touchdowns at the end, including Josh Dobbs' Hail Mary to Juwan Jennings. And I remember that game because I left the missus in the wedding reception while I snuck out to the van repeatedly. Yes, your missus. We always have fun with that. Texas A&M is off to a quick start on New Mexico State, 17-0. Later games we have Washington State at New Mexico and Kansas at BYU. I'm kind of interested in that game. Kansas has had a disappointing season, but they've shown the ability to play with some teams and possibly, could challenge BYU in this game. BYU last week after that game to Utah, which caused some controversy.
Now, I would be upset if I were BYU because you're 6th,
Mhm.
and I feel like you're being hidden by being shown at 10:15 at night. I know it's
Yeah,
not
but
that way
it's
on the West Coast, but
yeah.
still, that
Hey,
is
we gotta have some
damn.
late night football that's quality, JT. Because I'm not the last week of the week before, there was no game that kicked off after 9 p.m. Eastern,
Mhm.
and I'm like, that's wrong. That's why I always loved Pac-12 and other. We used to have some late night football to stay up late too. But anyway,
Well,
all
you get
right.
that
Well,
on
let's
Sunday,
yeah. Well,
Anyway,
I don't know. I don't know. I just still like my old college football late at night. All right. Well, let's go back through. Let's take a look at Texas, Arkansas. Let's bring up that box score down there, JT,
sure.
and look at this game. I know you had SEC games. Were you able to have? Yeah, that. See, I don't understand why it's doing that tonight. Because the last few weeks when I've been pulling up the screen, it does not. But I noticed today it's doing that a lot with playing the clips.
Right.
Score update: Georgia now is down 10-0. Tennessee kicks a field goal to extend their lead. All right, this game, I'm not sure if you got to have a chance to watch this. This was a game that
I
looked like
watched.
Texas was.
Mhm.
This game, you and I think commented on this. It seemed like Texas was going to run away with this early, but then Arkansas got stingy on defense.
Right. Yeah, it was right before halftime. I said, "Oh, it looks like Texas is going to run away with this," and then,
Hmm.
um, 20 points is a disappointment for the number 3 team against an unranked opponent.
Yeah, and
Right.
Arkansas won the line of scrimmage, but Quinn Ewers was 20 of 32 for 176 yards, 2 touchdowns again. Texas runs for 139 yards, a balanced attack today. Arkansas was just this could not do much offensively. Taylor Green did not ran for -4 yards with a sack yardage and threw a pick, so not much on the Arkansas's offensive side, which it's a shame because this is a game I thought Texas was right for an upset. In this game,
Oh,
uh,
you thought the Razorbacks were a trap for them?
yes, I did. I did.
You
Uh,
know, to be
update,
fair into that Arkansas defense, 20 points is really a good effort. I mean, a really, really
mhm.
good effort to keep a team to 20 points. You should win every football game if you keep them to 20 points or less,
Yeah,
mathematically. And the fact that you didn't score the first half, shame on the offense for doing that, because your defense didn't let you down. And Texas being the third ranked team in the country, uh, you can't walk away feeling good about this
hmm,
whatsoever, even though it's a win.
yeah. All right. I just got an update from Athens that my kid, like I said, they oversold the student section seating.
Mhm.
Apparently, they've left the stadium. They found a tailgate that adopted them.
Yeah.
Oh,
So did they
oh,
get their money
oh
back
my
for
God!
not having a seat?
They got escorted out by the police. Oh my! Oh, she's joking about threatening us, though. But yeah, they. I don't know. It's really odd to see a game in Athens. I will tell you because I made a mistake with the missus one day when South Carolina went to Georgia last year, I believe, and I cut it too close towards football kickoff time, and I wanted to get gas, and I pulled at a gas station. Barely could get to the pumps. I mean, It's like for miles from the stadium, there are tailgates in random parking lots everywhere around town. This convenience store had people tailgating, TVs up in the parking lot, all around. Normally, there's like get off my lawn. They run everybody off, but it's like the
Right.
whole city, all the parking lots. People go and put TVs up and watch the game out in parking lots and just do what they designed. Uh, they were because they were standing around because they couldn't find a seat. So.
But
So
did they get their money back? I mean, you
I
pay
don't
for a
know what's
seat.
going to happen with that. I don't know what's going to happen with that. They saw groups of students wandering without seats, and they got there an hour early. So just go figure. So no, not throwing hot dogs again. But yes, Outlaw Bill, tailgating is always best because of all the great food smells. So hey,
Now, see, every time we get this silence, folks,
mm-hmm.
look down at the scoreboard because Dadman's probably seeing something.
Yeah. I'm either
You know,
eating or I'm checking up with my correspondence from Athens. So
it's a huge difference from Big Ten
yeah.
country where the schools, well, I don't know
Mm-hmm.
nowadays with
Well, you know
50
what's
million
weird.
teams,
What's
but we used
weird?
to have. Mhm.
Huh? Well, what's weird is 2 years ago the kid went to this game, Georgia Tennessee. It was a 3:30 game. Got there, not that. I mean, it was. It's like they said, it was not as crazy 2 years ago when Georgia was undefeated, had Stetson Bennett, had no problems, and but like tonight they were kind of caught off guard that the students were there so early for this game, and it was crazy. So
Right.
yeah,
They the Big Ten schools usually have designated on campus places to tailgate. In like you have to have a zone and a reservation and all this
yeah,
craziness. But just going into gas stations and stuff, people would be like, no, you can't do that here.
no. No, it's just like
Too different.
everybody's parked on the side of the road. It's a weird thing. I mean, for miles, I'm talking about 2 miles away from the stadium. It's
Mhm.
like I'm just like I said, I was lucky I didn't get stuck in the wrong way of traffic that day. I would
Right.
not have heard it from the end of it from the missus. So, all right, well, let's jump down to the next game, JT. We'll go from Texas. There really was, it was a disappointment. I thought it was a game that they could have pulled off, but Arkansas really had no offense. Let's take a look at Penn State though, real quick, if you don't mind bringing that one up. Because we got Connie Cleary here. So let's talk about, we'll, especially folks, if there are games that you want to talk about, we will definitely pick those games up and want to talk about games of interest to you. Yeah, JT, you're getting it. You're getting it. Only twice that time. Oh, this is how efficient Penn State was this week. But you know what? I ask this for Connie or any other Penn State fan out there because I kind of feel like it with some of these teams. You look at this game going right 49-10, but then what happens to them with Ohio State at home? Not beating Ohio State again struggles. I mean, and Ohio State's good, but they're down from what they were. But look at this. Drew Aller in this game, 17-19. He's almost perfect. 247 yards, 3 touchdowns. It's just
No
like,
interceptions. And
uh,
that's almost the better number to see. No
yeah,
interceptions, no fumbles, nothing.
yeah, it's just like, but why can't we have a performance like that against Michigan or an Ohio State or somebody like? And hello, Sashi. Good to see
Hey,
you before you head to work. Hey, good to see you as always. Thanks for swinging by to say hi. So, Buddy said it was senior day, so they were booked. What is he? Were you talking about a certain game, certain stadium?
I think so.
So I think so. So
Mhm.
maybe the San Jose State game. I don't
I
know.
think so. Yeah, I think so.
Well, oh yeah, because that's what they're talking about on the Tennessee radio network. There's only 3 weeks left in the season. Wow, that was for all Carson Beck's struggles. He stepped forward, broke out of it, and picked up a first down there. So I feel for my kid though. Dang it,
Mhm.
it's just
Yeah,
like
that's
all of
not
them.
cool.
Yeah, yeah. So they said that there's going to probably be a lot of complaints, and because apparently there were a lot of other students and it was that bad. But yeah, I mean, because this could be a great game to have to be there to watch. I like the stadiums. Like I think Auburn has it where they have upper deck viewing things with the ramps, and they put people where they can stand and watch and look down. It's like if you it's not what people are standing. Hey, you know what? We got a minor league baseball stadium, and all the damn adults loiter. They're walking around and stuff like that. They're not sitting there in the seats watching the game.
Right.
So let the kids walk around and have fun, be part of it. But here, Penn State opens up a 21-3 lead. Scores 28 more in the second half. So this really Purdue. Penn State. Obviously
they
is
took their foot
cruising.
off the gas fourth quarter too.
Yeah,
That's why Purdue got the touchdown, and Penn State only put up 7 in that fourth quarter.
yeah. And we have a touchdown, Georgia. Hey, we got a game now, folks. Looks like Carson Beck is back. Yes. All right. Well, let's move down to our next game we got. But that's Penn State. Obviously they're not going. I guess we looked at it the other night. They probably will not make it to the Big 12 game, Big 10 championship game. But we'll look at the standings if we have time. Let's move down. We'll keep going down. We're not going to waste our time on Notre Dame or Alabama. See, we'll skip the SMU game for now. Colorado win the game. Let's hit the Stanford Louisville game. If you can pull up the Gamecast though.
Oh, Gamecast, sure.
Yeah, Gamecast with that one, because we'll take a look at how the scoring went in this game, because this is a tell of the scoring efforts with it. As you can see, Stanford wins this game 17-7 in the fourth quarter for the final margin. Stanford, of course, with another game-winning time expiring field goal. It's not. Let's see if you scroll down just a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yep. So, if Buddy saw this, I'm curious. See, Stanford was trailing 35-21 to Louisville fourth quarter. You get 2 touchdowns, ties it at 35. They tied it up with 45 seconds left in the game. How the heck did they get the ball like that? Stanford had the senior day game, last regular home game of the season. Buddy, how did they get the ball back so quickly to get the field goal attempt? Because that was interesting. So, because that reminds me, JT, of last week's Missouri-Oklahoma game, where Missouri scored, tied it up with about 45 seconds left, and Oklahoma fumbled, and Missouri ran it in for a touchdown to win the game. I turned around, I was like, did the screen buffer, like in the fight last night, did it go 2 minutes backwards? That was fun last night with the missus. I will tell you, that was fun doing that fight live with the missus. Yeah, I told you she can get passionate, can't she?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My fantasy football league, group chat, text message chat was just livid the whole time. They were ready to fight Netflix in a better fight than the one that was supposed to be playing on the TV. Just buffering,
Yeah, I tell you, I wasn't surprised. I wasn't surprised they didn't start the fight till 11:30, whenever it was, and I'm not surprised it was like such a dud. It was like Dancing with the Boxers, Let's just Mrs. Tyson keeps backing up. Yep, exactly. It's not the old Tyson. So, Buddy said at Cal, then San Jose State to close out the season. Okay. Yeah, so no more Pac-12 rivalry game that last game of the week. But yeah, Buddy, if you're able to tell me, how did they get the ball back with that so quickly? Because I'm curious how that ended up. Because I knew that they had two scores close together at the end, but it's their second conference win. As you can see, Stanford's 2-5 in the league. Both conference wins have been on game-winning field goals with no time left. If you can move over to the box score real quick, we'll take a look and see look at the statistics in it. So 19th ranked Louisville goes on the road and ends up getting upset by Stanford. You wonder how much cross-country travel plays into this. Tyler show for Louisville, 26-39, 270 yards, touchdown, and a pick. Duke Watson had 117 yards, 3 touchdowns on the day. See, I always like to look, though. He had 10 carries take out the 68 yards, take out 49 yards, 10 carries, 49 yards. Still not bad average, but it's funny when
Right.
you take one play out of the statistics. Emmett Mosley for Stanford, though, 13 catches for 168 yards, 3 touchdowns. Ashton Daniels, 22 at 33, 293 yards, 298 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 pick to go with it. So, hey, great win for Stanford. Way to it's really impressive to see this game because I was following the score, 21-13 and a half, and it was kind of back and forth, and then Louisville extended the lead. It's like Louisville was trailing the scoring, and they caught up, and then they passed, and then as you see, 17 unanswered by Stanford to end the game. Just amazing, and yeah, Stanford is the tree and a cardinal, not the birds, but hey. All right. Well, that's our ACC on the Pac-12 on the Pacific Coast. Excuse me. All right. So we will go back out and look at another game. Another game of the day that really was dramatic was Clemson at Pittsburgh. We had this is a game we talked about last week, I think, when we took a look at the league standings. If you want to bring up the game cast on that one first. This was a game that had a lot of stakes. I'll go back, slide up just a hair, just a second on the standings. Let's take a look at the standings because see, last week Pittsburgh was actually 3-1 when we were having our show. They lost last week in an upset. We were about to have like 4 one-loss teams possibly with this game this week coming into a big matchup, which it was. Because had Pittsburgh beaten Clemson, Clemson would have a second loss. You would only have SMU and Miami, clear 1 and 2. As it is now, you've got Clemson and Miami both with 1 loss in the league. This game, Clemson pulls out the 17-7 lead at half. Pittsburgh rallies, takes up the lead, and ends up. If you slide down just a hair, they slide up to see. Pitt actually takes the lead 20-17 with a minute and a half left the game. But Cade Klubnik for Clemson runs 50-yard for the game go-ahead winning score, and Clemson ends up winning this game 24-20. A final drive by Pittsburgh ends up in an overthrow and an interception with Clemson near the goal line. Clemson wins and is still in the thick of the ACC race. Again, as long as SMU wins again today. So if you could slide back up again real quick.
Sure, I was just marveling at Florida State.
Yeah, I love it. Well, Florida State is what's going to make Florida State is what's going to make Florida Bowl eligible. The 6 wins, and then yeah. I mean, if they can't beat it, and look, I thought Florida was bad, but no, Florida. I will say Florida was impressive today. Florida is not FSU bad. No, Florida's problem is the coaching. I really believe it's coaching in many situations.
I just never thought I'd see the day when Florida State would be below, North Carolina, Duke, Virginia. Well, maybe Virginia on an off year, but NC State,
California, and Stanford. For goodness sake, yeah, it's like they're below Boston College. Look at the traditional ACC teams: BC, Wake Forest. I mean, they're below all those guys.
Right.
Right. Yeah, I remember when it used to be an insult when Duke was ahead of you.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So really, it's a three team race. SMU has 2 more conference games left. Clemson, I can't remember if they have 8 or 9 in the SEC. If you pull up Clemson's schedule real quick, let's take a look at that.
Sure. We'll pull them up here and then
we just slide down. Okay, so Clemson is done 8 games in the conference. So they are done Citadel and South Carolina. So that's all that's left for Clemson this season.
They should roll up Citadel pretty well.
Yeah. And South Carolina will not matter because I believe that the ACC is only going to get 1 team in the playoffs. It will be the conference champion. And they did not play Miami along the way. So this, again, folks, is the question of how these tiebreakers come down to. We looked at the other night, the SEC tiebreaker, and honestly, it's too early to try to guess it, whatever, because At least, well, it's not so bad here in the ACC because we got it down to 3 or possibly only 2 teams. But what do you do in the head? It's probably one of those common opponents or strength of schedule things again is what it'll come down to. And who knows between
Wow.
Miami and Clemson.
Hey, Dad, man, check out what Buddy Hepburn put in the chat about the end of that Stanford game.
Yeah. Louisville turned the ball over on downs at Stanford 45 seconds. 45 with 5 seconds left. Louisville then got it unsportsmanlike conduct and all sides to get Stanford range, who won the kick. Oh my gosh. Wow.
I bet the guy with the unsportsmanlike is really feeling that one tonight.
Wow. I mean, it's just, why would you go for it at your own 45 with 5 seconds left? I mean, in this day and age of kickers can kick 50 plus, 60 plus yards in a lot of cases. I mean, why would you even try that?
Even if you feel like you have to kick it away, they can do some squib kick kind of stuff, and you get them at their own 25. I mean, come on. That's safe. That's the safe way to play it. None of this fancy, once again, metrics, analytics.
Yeah, like your favorite Cincinnati going for 2. Yeah, the only time that I've seen this season that going for 2, I think could have been justified was the Florida-Tennessee game because of the way that game had gone.
Mm-hmm.
That was the one time when I could see you're on the road in a hostile environment. Okay, go for it. Go for 2. And, and in that case, it probably was the right call because we saw what happened. Florida had to settle field goal. Tennessee winning. I think they even missed the field goal, but I don't remember. Yeah, they missed the field goal, and then Tennessee just ran it in and got 6, very easily. So that's so much for the metrics. All right, JT, the next game, let's take a look at South Carolina, Missouri.
Sure.
34-30. Yeah, go to the Gamecast first. We'll go to Gamecast, start that, and go from there. But yeah, buddy, that had to be. I was eyeballing that game, but I was into something else at the moment, and I would have loved to have been able to watch that game because it looked. I was watching the score all afternoon, and it was something impressive.
All right, it's up.
All righty, all right. Well, folks, I will tell you, Shane Beamer escaped again. South Carolina moves up to 7-3. Missouri falls to 7-3. Will probably lose the top 20 season that they had high hopes. South Carolina really, man, I tell you, very impressive. SEC year 5-3 did not have a lot of hope this year. Lenore Sellers developing as a quarterback has been really key for this team. Plus, addition of Ricky Sanders, a transfer from Arkansas, really solidified their run game. The defense has been inconsistent. Was dominant first half. South Carolina built a 21-6 lead, but then 18 points in the fourth quarter. South Carolina, though, hangs on to win this game. Although Missouri took the lead with 1:10 left in the game. Another great dramatic game. See, and this is why, JT, South Carolina is lucky they won. They did have a rally. Good players. They came back. Brady Cook for Missouri has been hurt lately, and he comes back. He gives his team a chance to win. They had the lead. Could not play defense for one other drive. But I tell you, this is a game where I got a lot of problems, and you start to question Shane Beamer. Shane Beamer started going for fourth and short in his own territory in the third quarter. It helped set up that 2-yard run by Missouri to pull them to 21-12. There was another time that they went for 2, and I think they got the field goals. It was pulled to 21-15. These coaches, especially when you have a team down, you can't be giving up field position. No matter what analytics say,
Right.
So that's a problem. That's the thing. South Carolina is one of those teams that's really just a step or two away from, playing for an SEC championship if a couple breaks go their way this season.
Well, and these are 2 teams that I usually like to root for year in, year out. And you're right about South Carolina. They always seem to be just, just out of reach from getting there. And I would really love South Carolina to get into that spot where they can maybe displace Alabama or displace Georgia to be in there at the top. If it were like Tennessee, South Carolina, Tennessee, Florida, something like that, I think the SEC would be so much more fun to watch and have schools that aren't so spoiled.
No, I agree with you. Yeah, all the royalty here. Although I still always call misery because, oh my gosh, really? Wow.
Do I want to know? Do I want to know?
I just looked up. Georgia had a nice run. It looked like it ended around from one of the receivers, and he he rolled the ball forward 20 yards. And Tennessee did recover it. So Tennessee got the ball. Georgia was actually on a nice drive. And just, wow. That's anyway. But I tell you what, I will say when we look back at the season, South Carolina is one of those teams that really had they look back and they're going to be what could have been because they had several of the games. If you go ahead, let's pull up South Carolina's schedule. They're kind of like Missouri last year. Missouri last year had so many close losses that they ended up. I mean, it was like, well, if this had happened or that had happened, they would have been, they could have played for the conference title last year. It'd have been a lot different. So South Carolina, look at the loss at home to LSU. That's a game they dominated first half. LSU makes a score near halftime and then picks up the offense in the second half. They were limited. South Carolina was limited to one or two scores on long plays in that game. Alabama was a game that they really were kicking the tide around, but defense faltered, offense, and then of course the 2-point conversion that they missed a wide open receiver, and then the onside kick from Hell that they recovered, and then it was like they forgot that they needed to go. They only had 50 seconds to go 45 yards forward and ended up heaving a desperation play. So that's a team that could have actually been in the mix tonight as the conference season winds down.
The one thing that will just kill me is that Alabama game losing by 2. And, they have very strong potential to win these last 2 games and be 3-3 against ranked opponents, but you're not going to move up in your conference past 4th or 5th place, depending on how those, because I believe they're in 6th right now, 6th or 7th. They won't move up past 4th at best and probably miss out on the playoff window just because that 2-point loss against Alabama.
Right.
By the way, it just so close. And then the 36-33 loss against LSU. If they could have won either one of those games, they would be in the conversation hands down and not Alabama. But instead, they're going to be on the outside looking in, even if they win these last 2, which is really unfortunate. Unfortunate. They're a good football team.
Oh, by the way, I have to do an update because my correspondent said Georgia got saved by the ref. That play that just happened actually was ruled. Had to be ruled an incomplete forward pass because he was in front of the quarterback when the exchange was made. So technically, it would be a forward pass then. Since he never handled it, it was ruled probably had to be ruled an incomplete pass. But then Georgia just threw the ball to another receiver who caught it, ran downfield, and then fumbled the ball another 10 yards forward. But Georgia did jump on it. So it's just, what a game. All right. So I love my correspondent up there. All right. So South Carolina really has it. Missouri is a team that, I tell you, if we flip back to Missouri, go back to their schedule real quick.
Let's pick them out. There's a lineup here.
Yeah. Okay. Because
videos that I cannot get to not play.
I know. I agree. I know it's crazy, but look at that. Look, I mean, they went into Texas A&M, just got absolutely slaughtered with that. And then because Alabama, they did not have Brady Cook available, so you look at it. There's unlike that. South Carolina is what Missouri was last year. Missouri is one of those teams that had they won a couple breaks gone their way, they like lost a game at Auburn with a fumble going through the end zone and things like that. Just they were so close last year to having a much better season, but this year, no, when they got beat, they've gotten beat. Until this game tonight, they just could not. So I'm actually surprised, honestly, that they played South Carolina as closely as they did. But then again, go back to some of Shane Beamer's coaching decisions. They helped set up Missouri for short fields. So, all right. Well, let's move forward to the next game, the Florida LSU game, if we can. So, y'all be sure to hit that like button. Wow, we got 12 likes already. Wow. Thanks, everybody.
Florida LSU.
Have y'all, Florida LSU. Yeah, we can do that. And folks, if you share it out and, if there are games that you would like to talk about, let's talk about them. Just tell us. We'll bring them up. This game, I tell you what, though, JT, was sitting at halftime. I'm like, they actually played offense today.
You're wondering, are we really going to do this?
Yeah, but you see 10-10. Normally, I'd be spewing and saying the offense sucked, but the offense actually looked good in the first half. We'll go look at the stats because there's a lot with the stats in this game that really jump out. But I tell you what, they should have also gotten beat in this game. LSU should have beaten the living fire out of them. Turnover or two. It's the poster child for why ball control does not win football games. Of course, we see when you look at it, Badger 23-yard pass from Lagway. Now, the fourth quarter, Florida scores, takes the 2013 lead. Jacoby Jackson 1-yard run, but what that does not tell you, the play before was a 44-yard pass from Lagway, who actually stepped up in the pocket with people pressuring around the backside, stepped up, threw off balance, and hit the guy perfectly in stride, almost a touchdown pass. And then, of course, they let the kid throw the ball down the field this week. This was like reminiscent of some of the Urban Meyer, Steve Spurrier offenses. There was originality. They threw the ball. And these receivers that were so-called average. But, and then, of course, they set up the 55-yard touchdown run, the last play of the game. Not of the game, but the last scoring for Florida. But I warn people, especially Gator fans, from looking too much into this. Oh, save his job. No, I still do not change the way I feel about him with the long-term future of this program. There are still things that are popping up in games.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
One of the things here that you will notice is that LSU just outside of having a terrible offense in the red zone, that's what saved them here. This Florida defense was out on that field a long time because this offense, 5 plays, 9 plays, 8 plays, 3 plays, 3 plays. You don't have that offense out there very long. And so you're putting a lot of pressure on the defense. And yeah, the defense can get themselves off the field quickly if they get a stop right away. But generally, you want to have. I know you said ball control doesn't win games, and in this case, it certainly did not for LSU because they were choke artists.
No,
in the red zone.
No.
But you really got to wonder: is this 27 points? Okay, good for the offense, but I would say the defense did so much better in this game than whatever the offense could have done because they were out there the whole time and held LSU to 6 points.
Well, I'll have a different take on that when we look at the play breakdowns. I actually look at it in the opposite way because this is the efficient Florida offense we're used to. If you look at the number of possessions, and when we look at time of possession, when you look at that 27 points for the limited amount of time Florida had the ball, they could have put up 50 on LSU today. Right. But go ahead. Let's go down. Let's take a look at it, too, because I want to show you if we go down a little bit further.
You want the play-by-play?
No. Just keep going down. Scroll down the screen. Keep going. This is the breakdown here. Florida only had 330. I'm surprised by that. Florida only had 339 yards to 392 for LSU. But look at that. Florida only had the ball for 18 minutes.
Yep.
This time was not the offense's fault. Offense scored throughout the game. That defense, LSU at one point was 8 for 9 on first downs in the third downs in the first half. They fell down to 8 for 12, and then it went from there. The Florida defense, looked good and dominating at times. It looked like an old Florida offense. But the reason why they were out there for 41 minutes was also this time. Listen, I hate Napier's offense. I've been very critical of it and stuff.
Yeah.
But this time it's the fundamental problem also with this team and their defense. They can't get off the field. They were lucky that they played an incompetent offense. I mean, LSU, when we go in the box score, you're going to see how they stat padded. I believe the number of plays they got up, and if you go ahead and work on over to the box score while we're doing that, because I want to show those numbers real quick and show what that happened. Hey, Atwood, good to see you. You're glad they won. Can't stand LSU for personal reasons. Leaving the past. Yes. Well, guess what? There's a score update. Your Georgia Bulldogs are now up 14-10 on Tennessee.
No.
So, yep, they just scored. So, well, see, this is what's weird. Look, Lagway, I did not realize he was 13-26. He seemed like he was a lot more efficient than that. But look, 26 passes, only 17 runs. 55 of Florida's running yards came on that one touchdown play. Okay? They actually threw the ball. Had they had the ball more often, I think this team could have put up 40 to 50 points because they were efficient today. He should have had 2 touchdowns, only 1. But look, Nussmeier, 47 passes, 260 or 80 yards, a touchdown. 44 rushes for 130 yards. They ran 92 plays, LSU did. LSU ran 92 plays in this game. It is on the Florida defense for not getting off the field in this case because they allowed LSU, especially in the first half, to extend drives, long drives. They couldn't. Third down, like I said, it was like 8 for 10 at one point. It was ridiculous. LSU's
killed them.
Efficiency.
Look at that. That's what killed them. The quarterback.
Yeah, getting too many sacks.
This is a 9 carry for negative 53 yards. Those are all
sacks. Most of them were sacks. One of the stories in this game, though, JT, was the Gators' defense. They had, they lived in the LSU backfield. They dominated the LSU offensive line. It was very impressive. There was a good thing with the Florida defense is that line was dominant. They were pressuring Nussmeier and sacking him. But then again, that's one of the problems with this team on defense under Billy Napier, not getting off the field on third down. They had third and longs. LSU was still converting them and stuff. But you know what? Like I said to my friends, enjoy the win. I enjoy a win. The last game I watched in this house will be a wonderful win for Florida over somebody like LSU, which is a wonderful memory. But, hey, another day, we can debate the long-term issues down the road. And hello, small-time Republic. Congrats. Thank you, sir. Hey, congrats to your win today. I know it was against Louisiana Monroe, but hey, at least y'all didn't get upset, to the Duck Dynasty school. So, oh, man, emotional trauma for LSU. Well, there's a lot of trauma from LSU. And oi to Stunning. Welcome in. Good to see you today. Good to see you. Stunning. How are you doing? But that's kind of what I had behind the numbers with this one though, is it looks like Florida didn't keep the ball enough. I think today Florida was efficient offensively. If you slide down a little bit,
sure.
If you slide down, let's see. Elijah Badger had a big game for the Gators. Let's see. Yeah, if you keep going down, so Florida had no turnovers, and let me see how many punts they had in the game with this today.
It looks like they had
4, which is not bad. For them, that's not bad. But but that's why I say, like in this game, it really is a story that the offense didn't get the ball enough. The defense had opportunities, but they I'm amazed that it was only 390 yards they gave up, but it seemed like LSU had the ball the whole time. It was just beyond crazy. So
they did.
They did. But field goals, 3 field goals. held them to 3 field goals. So that's I'm actually stunned Florida won this game. But I will tell you, I made a comment to you. I thought Billy Napier was coaching for LSU a time or two there because there were times when I'm sitting there watching that game and I'm like some of Brian Kelly's calls when he went for it early in the game and stuff, and I was like, did they change coaches? But
Oh, that's traditional Brian Kelly for you.
Yeah, he went for fourth and a yard or two at. Oh, here's his exact situation because we remember the Georgia game, right? It was like fourth and a yard. LSU's in the shotgun. The ball's in Florida territory at the very start of the game, and they run the wide receiver end around coming in, and that same play Florida ran against Georgia, and Florida stopped it this time instead of just going forward. It was so I had to do it. But good, doing good. Pat Patron's doing better now. Awesome, good to see that though. Studying. Hey, glad he's doing better tonight. All right, so
just a quick update on score here. I don't know if we have Mr. Cagle here, but Rutgers is currently up big on Maryland. I know that's a big time game. Everybody is excited to see.
The small timer public agrees with you. Brian Kelly gets comically angry. I know some people love it when Saban went nuts.
It's true. Oh man, and you're like, really? Well, especially with Notre Dame, it was just a joke. I'm like, how can you get mad at a team that refuses to join a real conference? Come on now.
They should be left out of the playoff. I mean, pick a conference.
And that team can't even pick their own colors. They cannot pick their own colors. See, they're supposed to be blue, and they're supposed to have like almost like a navy blue, and then they have gold helmets. But then they'll also wear green, and then they'll be blue and white as well. So when they play Navy, they're wearing Navy's colors. When they play the University of Michigan, they're blue with the gold helmets. When they play Michigan State, they wear green and white. I'm like, can you just pick 2 damn colors and just wear those? But no, they have to like blend their jerseys in with whomever they're playing, like a freaking chameleon.
Right. No, I
really do not like Notre Dame at all.
I know you don't. It's Notre Dame, Alabama, and Michigan.
And the other thing that gets me is the generic college football fight song that gets played in every movie is always
like Airplane. Like Airplane, right? Yeah.
My blood pressure just went up, Dadman.
Well, that's how I was as a kid with the Georgia Bulldogs. It's like, why are they playing Glory, Glory, Hallelujah? Dun, 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 dun. It's like, why? Yeah. Oh. Well, it looks like Tennessee is now driving again. They're going to have a fourth and about a yard, it looks like.
Now, this is a shocker. Wisconsin's up on Oregon 10-6 going into halftime.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's
no. Well, go ahead and bring up the scores, the live scores at the top of the screen. We'll take a look at the scores again. Yeah, 10-6. Wow. Pull up the Buck score on that one real quick on the Wisconsin Oregon. Let's take a look. A buddy said one of those lip reads looked like "Who do you think you are?" It escalated as he turned more red. Small Time said Notre Dame can't be a top 4 seed until they join a conference. Maybe that'll provide incentive. So you never know. But hey, oh my goodness. So, but let's see. Dylan Gabriel's 15 and 20, 152 yards. Braden Locke for Wisconsin 7 of 17, 84 yards. Well, hey, the balanced attack for.
I'm sorry, that is garbage.
Well, I know, but it's under 10 yards of completion too. But then again, what do you expect from a Wisconsin quarterback? So, before we move on from this screen, though, because I'm just curious to see how bad the offensive. Okay, when we're done, let's go back to Gamecast because I got a question. Okay, but while we're here, let's look at the Big Ten standings right here. we got Indiana still undefeated. We know they play Ohio State next week.
I'm gonna fix it just a little bit to try to get more of the teams in. We'll just leave the bottom 2 teams. Okay.
Yeah, but it's like so Indiana, and of course Indiana always has to go to Ohio State when it matters. But you got one loss to Ohio State, one loss Penn State. Say if Oregon loses tonight, you got one loss, and then Indiana. I presume that they will not have a chance against Ohio State. Whether you have 3 or you have 4 one-loss teams. Again, folks, it's back to what the tiebreakers will be. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with this. Well, we'll keep an eye on this game tonight on NBC. If you go back to the GameCast real quick, I am curious to see what.
I can get there from here.
Yeah.
Cool. And
yeah.
You better not play. Okay.
There you go. Let's see. And we slide down a little bit. Okay, so it's 2 field goals. Okay. I was curious because Oregon tends to be one of those jackwagon analytic teams where they go for 2 or do a gimmick 2 for the first PAT, and I'm like,
or they
anyway.
go for it on 4th and 3 from their own 38-yard line in the first quarter with 10
that
minutes
magically
to go.
They get it. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's just yeah. Well, you know what happened with Oregon and Ohio State in that game. It's led to a rule change in college football that Oregon admitted to it that they ran a 12 player on defense with under about 13 or 15 seconds. They purposely ran a 12 player on. Of course, they're out there. Ohio State incomplete pass or whatever. All they got was a 5-yard penalty, but it took the clock down because, as we know, what happened was Will Howard could not get down fast enough. The clock ran out. Oregon won the game. So what has happened is that the NCAA responded and said that the team that's harmed, like in this case would have been Ohio State, if that penalty happens, then they can choose to either take the clock runoff or they can reset the clock back to the original time of the snap.
Oh, really?
Okay. Yes. That happened the week after that. It's kind of like, but see, you know what, JT, it's kind of like me with one of those things. It's like, just because something's done in the rules, it doesn't make it good. To me, it's an ethical question. Just because it's legal, should you or could you do it for the good of the game, for the spirit of the game, like that? Or like Ole Miss being famous for the flopping fake injuries and stuff. Is it really helping the game having that crap? I think in college basketball, the worst thing I hate is this thing that's crept up with foul them before they shoot the 3-pointer, so with 3 seconds, so they can't shoot a 3. Just play defense. Right. Whatever happened about just playing defense? I understand how it worked. I understand how the odds would be against you, but why can't we just play defense and let's play the game? It's a spirit of the game thing to me.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a fine line too. Like, you're intentionally trying to foul people to get them to shoot at the end of the game in a basketball game. I mean, that's been around.
When you're playing from behind. But just because you get a 3-point lead, and my thing is play defense. Send everybody at 3-point line. Play as hard as you can. Don't give up 3 and don't foul on the 2-point shot. But it's still about we're going to foul them with 1.4 seconds, and they'll only get 2 free throws. I'm almost at the point of saying, and I hate these type of rules, of saying if you foul a player outside of the 3-point line and with in the last 10 seconds, they get 3 free throws, whether they're shooting or not. I mean, now granted, if they have hit the bonus, when they get to the 7th, which at least bring 1 and 1, or if they hit the 10th foul, but there's things like that. But if you're at the 2nd or 3rd foul, well, guess what? That's your fault for not, But like that, it's just an ethical thing to me. I don't know. Right. I've never liked it. And Wade, you are the hardest guy on Colorado. I love Coach Prime, and we have a touchdown for Tennessee.
Now, just to do an interesting thing for analytics' sake here, according to their Walt Disney Company analytics, Oregon still they have a 50%, 49.7% chance of winning.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Well, you should see Alabama's chance of making the playoffs still compared to some other teams that only have one loss ahead of them. Wow,
Right.
this is going to be a fun second half. This game, Tennessee now leads 16-14 over Georgia. So this is actually going because 2 years ago when they played, it was Georgia blew them off really quickly. So, but yeah, but he said basketball can stretch 10 seconds to 15 minutes of actual play. Yes, and it doesn't help when they keep adding timeouts. Hey, let's look at one more game real quick of a game that ended earlier. Let's look at because if Small Town Republic beat from still here, let's look out for our Auburn's fans. Let's see how they did against Louisiana Monroe today. You just pull up that box score, and
they're not going to be in that one. So
no,
let me see.
yeah, if you go to all games or SEC, you should find it there. All scores or schedule, you can find it there. And JT's helping me out, folks, tonight since I'm at the remote location. So,
well, let's do the game cast. How about that?
All right, we can do that.
There we go.
All right, your buddy Peyton Thorne. Wow. 3 touchdown passes in the first half. Mm-hmm. Wow. 5 touchdown passes from Peyton Thorne. No, you got to be – look at that, Louise. Auburn played well other than 12 seconds left, and the cornerback fell down, giving up a long touchdown pass. Yes, exactly. Well, good for that. So,
well, I don't know what UL Monroe is, but I can only tell you they're probably not good if they make Peyton Thorne look like, Drew Brees.
Well, they're better than they had been because a couple years they were in the bottom 10 at 5-5. But they're 5-5. Mm-hmm. They've improved. General Booty, though. General Booty, yeah, the quarterback fell down, but that quarterback's name's General Booty.
I don't see that. Where are you seeing that?
Look down on the fourth. Look at the TD for Louisiana Monroe. Jonathan Bibbs, 65-yard touchdown pass from General Booty.
I see that one.
No, go to the bottom.
What the?
Wow.
What? Okay. I'm sorry. We gotta look this guy up. We gotta look this guy.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Josh Booty or Abram Booty. Yes, I remember the Booties that played for LSU. I forgot about that name. Yes. General Booty. But it's interesting that is definitely a Southern name, General. Wow. I think what really
not what I thought he would look like at all. I don't know what he thought he would look like. Just not that.
It's a good Southern, old school Southern name. I think what got me was the first name, really, but then, well, hey, I do remember Abram Booty. I think Josh Booty was also one that played for LSU. That's
big booty.
Yeah. A Small Town Republic said Auburn had no penalties somehow. Yep. Oh, Buddy's giving up on San Jose State. Clears are idiots. Oh, boy. So
100% completion rate in the game.
65-yard touchdown pass today. Woo. Make him the starting quarterback.
That's a nice rating.
Yeah. It's going to be perfect if not. Close to perfect if not. Oh my goodness! So if you go back, we'll take a look at the game, the box score with them too. I'm curious to see how Auburn did on the box score. But yes, I forgot about the Booty family. It's Booty. The Booty family is to LSU like the Manning is for Mississippi.
There we are.
So Peyton Thorne, 22 of 32, 286, 5 touchdowns. Walker White was 2 of 5, 18. Jarquez Hunter, another great day, 102 yards for him. Aiden Armento was the starter, 8 of 15, 89 yards for UL Monroe. Of course, General Booty comes in for 1 completion for 65 yards. But, it's good for Auburn. They at least held serve. At least Auburn held serve. What's that?
I can't get over that name. I'm sorry. I can't.
I know, but it is. It's a family
Maybe
name
I'm
from
too much
LSU.
of a
So
Yankee. I don't
I
know,
get,
but
you're getting wrapped up on the last name. I'm getting wrapped up on the first name. That's like,
yeah,
boy, that's like Prudence or something, these days. Oh my gosh. Well, I tell you what, Georgia is driving again with a minute left in the first half. I got a feeling we're going to have a big, hopefully a great second half to this game. If these teams are starting to play, this is going to be one of those games where it's going to be a shame one of them lose because they really are playing to their potential tonight. And unfortunately, one will get eliminated. Alabama will still be alive, and some of the other teams will still be alive. But all right, so good. Yeah, congrats, Auburn fans, y'all. I know. Never forget. Let's see. Let's take a look at Auburn's schedule real quick,
sure.
and then we'll look at once more. Okay. Well, I was going to say y'all could maybe make a bowl because you never know what happens to Alabama, but they're on the road at Alabama, so it's probably going to be a bleak 2 weeks for the Auburn fans. So,
I do not
but
pick them to win against A&M. Sorry,
no,
folks.
even at home and on the road at Alabama. But hey, one thing will be sure: there'll be no more Peyton Thorne at quarterback. So, could you
He
imagine?
left Michigan State because he wasn't making those bowl games, and I wonder how it
Yeah.
worked out for him.
Well, honestly, I'll tell you what, and I've said this because I was worried about Lagway and his health today. I know they cleared him, they gave him some special device, all this stuff. But I tell you what, honestly, I, and I was telling you with this, and I meant it. If they keep that 2 yard passing offense, that running the quarterback, running, such predictable, which he is still predictable. If he runs on first, he's going to pass on second. If he passes on first, he's going to run on second, no matter what. You can, even Gator fans mock his play calling because he's so predictable. But what I said was that if that's my kid, Lagway's my kid with his arm, and he's a great thrower, great arm. I wouldn't have him running a garbage offense like Florida has been running the last 2 or 3 years.
Right.
I want a pro style offense where you can throw the ball down the field. Could you imagine DJ Lagway at somewhere like Auburn? I mean, what that would do for Auburn? My primary thing is like Georgia. Georgia came and got Trevor Etienne last year, the Gators' best running back. What about if they came and got Lagway? I mean, it's more of a pro style offense. He exposes, it's great that he can run. I mean, Carson Beck made a run earlier, and you need a mobile quarterback that can escape at times, but Florida puts a lot of pressure on that quarterback to run at times. And it's, not everybody's made like Tim Tebow. At least that's my thought about it. So,
Right.
General Booty's chicken is better than General So's. So, I mean, what do you think about that thought with a quarterback like him? I mean, would it be better to have him in a uh, passing type offense or this type of offense?
It's tough. I, I'll worm my way out of this and say I think he could do well in both potentially.
Yeah.
It's hard to say. I think it really comes down to the individual player so much on that, as well as your opponent. And I know that sounds like, oh, he's not going to come down one or the other. I could make a case for either one.
Right. No, I got you.
I like better. So.
I got you. Well, Small Time says that he thinks that Auburn can beat Alabama, A&M, but probably not Alabama. You never know, though. South Carolina went on the road and played well in Tuscaloosa. I think a lot depends on the health of Jalen Monroe because I've heard people talking about him actually being injured a couple weeks ago, I think in the South Carolina game, and he's been not quite the same. So you never know.
I don't think you could get an impartial referee if you're playing at Alabama and it's Alabama's play into the playoffs. I don't think you could get that. Sorry, Auburn. I just don't.
No, I understand. Yeah, because the league's going to make sure Bama gets there. Well, let's go ahead. In a couple minutes we have left wrapped up. We kind of talked about positions and standings. We'll have to do that another night too. Maybe I'll talk a little bit more about that on the Wednesday show.
We had a busy week this week. A lot of good games, which we haven't had for a while, actually. So this is a great weekend.
Yeah, just current score updates. No wonder Buddy turned off the game because Boise State is now tied San Jose State 21 all and has the ball again. Kansas State has gotten on the board. Arizona State is leading that game 24-6. Let me guess that they went for two in the third quarter to try to get anyway. As you said, it looks like the second half is about to start. Wisconsin leads Oregon 10-6. Let's hope for an upset there. I think that will do everybody some good. Oh, Tennessee got called for an interference. Crap. Speaking of that, Tennessee leads number 12 Georgia at 17-14. Georgia is driving the ball with about 22 seconds left in the first half. A&M is up big on New Mexico State 24-0. And again, Washington State at New Mexico at 9:30 and Kansas at BYU at 10:15 on ESPN. Recapping the day in the top 25, Ohio State wins big 31-7. Texas outlast Arkansas 20-10. Penn State crushes Purdue 49-10. Notre Dame easy win over Virginia 35-14. Alabama 52-7. JT, do you have a couple minutes just to quickly hit the current playoff standings, the playoff predictor?
I don't. I'm sorry. I've
All
got
right.
less.
Well, we'll hit that another time. Yeah. So I'll hang on. And I'll see if I can talk about that, and you drop as you need to. Colorado beats Utah 49-24. Stanford with the game of the day, the upset over Louisville 38-35 in dramatic fashion. Clemson rallies to beat Pittsburgh 24-20. South Carolina outlasts the Missouri Charge, wins at the end 34-30. Florida upsets LSU in a pretty dominating fashion, 27-16, and Tulane crushes Navy 35-0. JT, thanks for coming in and hanging out with me for a bit.
Yes, thank you, sir.
I know you got a pre-existing engagement, so yeah.
Yes, I do.
But appreciate it.
And please don't forget to check out the Mrs. channel as well. I know, Dadman, you're great about doing that. I just wanted to make sure I mentioned it too because her channel is that good. So,
yes, absolutely. Yes.
On that note, I will. I'll see myself off the field, and everybody take care. Thank you.
Yeah, just don't tear a hamstring on the way off.
Will do. Have a good one.
All right.
Bye.
All right. Bye. All right. The great JT Kirk here. Yes, and that's Buddy. Thank you for the link. Morning musings and block parties. There's her YouTube and her Twitch links also, and I appreciate that. Make sure you subscribe. She's trying to get to 500 for the YouTube monetization. Also on Twitch, she's monetized there. You can subscribe over there, or you can support her through Ko-Fi, random, either monthly or one-time donations. And they keep more of the cut than when you do super chats and things through YouTube. Real quick, let's see. All right, Buddy, you're modding, so let me see in settings there. Let me grab. I'm going to take a look at something real quick. I'm not going to be able to share the screen yet. But I do want to do something with the current college football playoff standings. So, yeah, I'm working on the phone again, folks. So, last football day here in this house in the old childhood home. Okay. All right. So let's talk about this and see what you may think, because this Georgia game in Tennessee is getting to halftime. Georgia got a 3rd and 15. And he throws it through the back of the end zone. Looks like we're going to go tied at halftime. So, all right. All righty. So 6 of y'all here. So, okay. Remember the current college football playoff format. The 4 power conference teams get the home games, seeded 1 through 4. Notre Dame can't be because, as Small Town Republic pointed out earlier, they can't be a conference champion since they're not in a league. And let's see. So we'll see what happens. Let me bring it up this week. Currently, coming into this week, oh wow. That's what I thought. Currently, the top 4 seeds, which would be you have the first week bye, would be Oregon, number 1 seed, Ohio State as an at-large pick behind Oregon in the Big Ten would be seeded 5. Okay. I guess they did it based. I don't know. All right. The first seed would be Oregon, highest ranked conference champion. Second highest ranked conference champion would be Texas, and seeded number 2. Third highest ranked conference champion would be BYU. Yes, BYU, because they're in the Big 12. And the fourth highest ranked conference champion would be Miami and the ACC. And these are theoretically if they went out win their conference championship games. So that's the theory where it sits right now. The other those teams have a first week bye. These other matchups would happen and would be played on the college campuses. Oh my gosh. Ohio State is an at-large pick. Penn State would be an at-large pick. Indiana, that would be 4 teams right there in the Big Ten. Tennessee is still in there, seated 8th. The second team from the SEC. Notre Dame is an at-large pick as an independent, seated 9th. Alabama is the third from the SEC, seated 10th. Ole Miss would be the 4th team from the SEC, seated 11th. Number 12 is Georgia, but guess what? Georgia does not get to the playoffs. Boise State, being the 5th highest ranked conference champion for the Mountain West and seeded number 12, would be in, Georgia out. So go figure. And Boise State, which has lost to only top-ranked Oregon, is only 3 spots away from being in the fourth highest ranking conference champion instead of Miami of Florida and getting the number 4 seed and receiving the bye. Go figure that. Could you imagine if the Mountain West had a bye and the ACC didn't? Well, it's possible. So, all right. So that's the current bracket and seeding. Looking at games today, even if Oregon loses, I don't think it really changes much. It just may shuffle around who would get the 1 seed based on who ends up winning the Big Ten. Currently, based on this scenario, games played on campus sites on December 20 or 21 would be. See, now this is what I think sucks. Okay, Boise, you say that you'll reward a conference champion, Boise State, granted Mountain West or whatever, does get in as the 12th seed, but they're still a conference champion. They have to go on the road. They would play at Ohio State as a 5th seed. I understand it with seeding and stuff like that, but to me, it's counterintuitive of rewarding conference champions. To me, if you're going to reward conference champions, you put them in there, but you know what? Give them a home game. Give that 5th conference champion home game because it could make a big difference. But, it'd be interesting to see Boise State at Ohio State, which would play the Miami Hurricanes in the quarterfinals, which would be at a regular bowl site. Number 11, Ole Miss would be at number 6, Penn State, with the winner playing BYU in the quarterfinals at a bowl site. Alabama would play Indiana. The winner would play Texas in the quarterfinals at a bowl site. And Notre Dame, Tennessee would play Oregon in the quarterfinals. See, this I think is the part that's good for college football. These are some exciting matchups, These are some exciting matchups and some games worth watching. There's no reseeding once the official bracket. So basically, they play through that way. I personally, though, for a lot of people that like the bowl games, though, this to me further makes the bowl system irrelevant and worthless. It's bad enough that you have, like what happened to FSU last year, where like 13 players were sitting out for transfer, and another 13 were sitting out for transfer for NFL draft in a bowl game. And what happens? FSU, which was undefeated, just 63-3 against Georgia, just. The bowl games, and I tell you, they don't discount the tickets. It's full price, and granted, a lot of them do charity work and raise money for the local communities, but it's hard to justify going and paying some of those prices for a game that's really now truly become nothing but a glorified exhibition. So, you can see Arkansas going after Rhett Lashley. I saw his name today. Is that SMU's head coach? I could see. Well, the thing is, they're ahead of Florida. Florida apparently will not make a move this year. Period. I have said I still don't like Napier at Florida. I don't think he's an SEC coach. Yeah, today was a great win. I loved what he did. If they had gotten the ball back and seen if they would let Lagway throw the ball another 20 more times, but I just still don't see it. I see still little thing. Today they were little because they played a team that's falling apart. If you know what LSU's been the last few weeks, it is a train wreck. It's not the team that people had high hopes for, and is really coming apart at the wheels. So also there's questions about Brian Kelly, the culture with with LSU, which was a concern I had from the beginning. How many? A lot of times it's hard for coaches come down from the north to fit in the south. Mississippi, like with Joe Broadman or Broadhouse, was somebody that came down from Penn State, and he took over Mississippi State. He didn't last long. Mike Leach kind of didn't fit in, but he had enough gimmick to keep people interested over there. It's just an odd thing, and that's Starkville, Mississippi, and now LSU definitely. The coach that typified LSU was Ed Orgeron, I think, but we know that happened. So, yeah, okay. I coached at SMU and son from Arkansas. Played for Mount Zion High School. Oh, see, I like that move. I like that move. That's where I think. I miss having Steve Spurrier. Why? He had the Florida roots. He had Florida history. I tell you, that's why I didn't like McElwain. I was on. I said the same thing with McElwain years ago. Get rid of him quickly. Did not have Florida roots. At least Muschamp was from Gainesville. He played at Georgia. Urban Meyer did not fit in, but he won. But I will tell you though, when he after Saban kicked his ass in the SEC championship game, and he took a few days off with health, and then he came back. I thought that was a big mistake. To me, right then, the coach says he can't handle it. Get rid of him. Let him go down the road, because you see what happened to Florida. They lost the next year because Adazio pretty much ran the damn team. And Urban Meyer had checked out. And then you see what he did in Jacksonville in the NFL. So, all right. So, yeah, we could have a first national championship related game in the snow. That would be interesting. Cool. Stuff like that. I'm sure they'll find a way to not do it. I don't know. Where is that's one thing I did not look. Where is the national championship this year? So, hey, Steve, Simply Steve, said I'm trying to expand the basketball style tournament. Soon they'll have 64 teams. There is talk about, because I think this deal goes another 2 or 3 years. There is talk about them expanding it to 16 teams, but I do think, unlike basketball, you can only have so many games. You got to end the season at some point. So Texas and Tennessee and Texas A&M all have one loss. So we talked about the tiebreak scenarios the other night. So, the first, yeah, okay, yeah. That's why I want to see Ohio State have to go to Boise. We know we would have snow then. Yeah, it will be interesting. It will be interesting. Hey, thank you, Wade. Good to see you. Yeah, Florida. Okay. I appreciate it. You think Florida will be 10-2 next year? All right. Well, I will appreciate it. But we used to say in the 70s, wait till next year. But I'm grumpy as I get older. Oh, from my correspondent up in Athens, speaking on the 17-17 score, it feels very good about the tie, and it really has been a very interesting first half to watch. So, yeah, I like the Cowboys. Yeah, just dude, forget. Yeah, those. It didn't get any better with Glenn. What happened to Glendon Rush? He served pretty good a few years ago, but last week, oh well. But then again, when Jerry Jones, as long as the owner, it will never get back to its glory. I mean, you passed on Derrick Henry, brought Zeke back, and he had attitude issues. So it's like, oh well. At least we have cool looking uniforms and the hottest looking cheerleaders in the NFL. That's okay. All right, folks. Well, thanks for being with me tonight. Appreciate y'all hanging out. That's the current scoreboard show. I'll take one quick last look. Let me double check on any updates of scores because we know Georgia. I'm going to enjoy some cake, some ice cream, and watch the second half of the Georgia Tennessee game, tied at the half. Just an update. Boise State now has pulled ahead of San Jose State 28-21. Arizona State is still up big on Kansas State. Wisconsin has extended its lead to 13-6 over Oregon. Could this be the week? I will, as much as I piss on Wisconsin. Sorry. I will say that historically, Wisconsin has always had good defenses. Oregon has struggled at times with good defenses this year. I mean, they only scored 24 against Idaho earlier this year and escaping on that game. So we'll see. We'll add to the madness. So then I guess we probably will be back with Ohio State or Texas as the number one team. So Deion to the Cowboys. Hey, I'd take Deion to Florida, but yeah, Deion to the Cowboys. Why not? Well, I'll tell you why not. Jerry Jones could not stand Jimmy Johnson's ego. I mean, no way he's going to stand Deion's ego. You know, there's only room enough for one ego in Texas Stadium. Well, no, it's not Texas Stadium, but AT&T Stadium, Jerry's, or whatever. Really, they've been talking about that all week. Well, that would make for good drama, I will say, because like I said, I don't see how. I don't see how Jerry would put up with that because somebody else getting the glory if they did well, or I don't know. Who knows? I would like it as a Cowboy fan. Can't get any worse, you know. Might as well go full Hollywood drama with primetime there, and then all the personality issues and stuff like that. But I will tell you, even if Jerry steps back, they will not win a championship with Dak Prescott. He's not a championship quarterback. Never won anything in college. He's had seasons that they were in driver's seat, had home field advantage, and then just choked it away. But all right, well, folks, y'all have a great, wonderful night. Thanks for being here tonight. Enjoy talking football as much and as often as we can. We got a possible another stream coming up in a couple weeks, sort of like what we did Monday night, dealing with the NFL. But I've got to wait till we get some commitments on that. May try to do some NFL playoff talk as we get into the playoff season. Definitely college postseason talk too down the road. So love to have you guys keep with us. Share out the streams. Hopefully, we can grow. We ended up getting a number of likes tonight. That's really impressive. And thank y'all for being here and staying here. I really appreciate your support. But like I said, we're trying to do new things. As the season winds down, we're trying to get to some other keep the fires going with sports, and after the first of the year, we're also looking at doing more of a regular sports weekly type show. But all that coming down the road, got to get through the holidays, enjoy what's left of this wonderful season. And yeah, Small Time, you're absolutely right. It would be wild to see prime time in the NFL again. I'd like to see if he could work with Jerry, but anyway, on that note, folks, thank y'all again. Y'all go have fun. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday night. For the last time, watching the Gators in this house, going out with a great win, and one last night of college football in this house. Thank y'all for being here, and I appreciate your support. And y'all have a good night. Bye, all.